I have my Renogy solar suitcase hooked up to a 12-volt lead acid battery, and that's connected to the charge unit, and it looks like we're getting 13.3 volts off the battery alone. And we don't have an LED down here right now because nothing's hooked up to charge. I can cycle through here. Obviously 0 amps. Nothing is hooked up yet except the battery. That's how many amp hours. And back to the main screen. Okay. Oh, now I see it. Okay, there it is. So yeah, 13.2 volts. And we're going to hook up I have a Life PO4 here for a separate test. We're going to hook up the solar panels now, connecting these to the charge controller, and we should see this thing change. Okay, you see it's selected wet. Wet cell needs to be selected before you hook up the panel to it if you're charging a wet battery. And I'm just going to let this run for a while. We got 14.8 volts. It's not a very sunny day here, so we only have 1.9 amps, 1.8, and it's probably good that we don't have a lot of amps. We don't have any amp hours yet, because this thing appears to be working with a fuse holder that now looks like this. So definite fire hazard. I don't even know why anyone would want me to hook this back up to make this video after seeing that picture, but here it is, still working. I'll come back and I'll show you the Life PO4. So the 12-volt lead acid wet battery has accumulated 0.1 amp hours on this cloudy day, and with the panels connected, we've got 14.7 volts and we got 0.8 amps. And let's go back to the volts real quick. 14.7 volts. I have another meter hooked up here as well, also reading 14.7. Those are hooked to the lead acid, so we managed to get some charge on there, even though it looks like it was almost full. And that's pretty high for a 12 volt. But we're going to move on to our Life PO4 battery. So we're going to disconnect these separate test leads that I put on here. And what we're going to do is we have to disconnect the solar panels first from the controller, so that we're just on the battery. It's kind of like going out of the procedure backwards, since the other way you hook up the solar panels last. So now we're last in, first out in the procedure, and we've got 13.8 volts on the lead acid battery alone. So we're going to take the leads and we're going to move these over to the Life PO4. Put the negative here, the positive here. Now the controller goes through its startup and it still thinks it's on a wet cell. Now it's really important not to connect the solar panels before you change what battery type you're running, and I don't know what could happen if you forgot, but it probably wouldn't be good. So Life PO4 selected there, right? I'm at 13.6 volts. This thing was nearly, if not all the way charged as well. So we're going to hook up the solar panels. Appears to be peaking off the charge on the battery. So we've got 13.6 volts, which is good for light field 4. Fully charged technically, I believe. And we have 4, sun's coming out, we got 4.4 amps. And we're going to accumulate amp hours, I'm sure. And all of that is with our friendly fuse holder, which I gotta say again is a real fire hazard. I shouldn't even be doing this, but hopefully we're gonna get that replaced. The controller appears to be working normally.